Season's greetings and welcome to the Two Balls and a Mic Terrace here at Snapdragon Stadium following a 2-1 victory by San Diego FC over LA Galaxy. My name is Tony Sanchez and I welcome you again from the Two Balls and a Mic / Toyota Terrace, where currently the San Diego Police Department has their avian machine, also known as the helicopter, the ghetto bird, barking orders to everybody in Snapdragon Stadium's parking lot to get in their cars and leave. I welcome and I open up with this here because head coach Mikey Varas, after the match, began this post-match press conference where they beat LA Galaxy 2-1 in a pretty emotional and fantastic victory on the field. But some unfortunate scenes are starting to come out of Snapdragon Stadium, specifically starting in the southeast corner of the second row. That's where LA Galaxy supporters were at. I'm not entirely sure of too much of what's going on outside right now, but clearly it is another situation here at Snapdragon Stadium where things have gotten out of hand, and the soccer is now becoming the secondary story. It's the second time SDFC is coming in to do that. So, hi, Tony. I guess you'll need to wear a bulletproof vest and a helmet when covering any LA games. And again, if people can let me know here in the comments just to give me an update as far as what's going on over in the purple lot, over in those lots here in San Diego Stadium, San Diego Snapdragon Stadium. It's always got to be unfortunate. It's good, with LA, whoever the team is, just there's no space for that in our game. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna turn it over in a bit here for head coach Mikey Varas and his comments regarding the match here today, as we had Chucky Lozano, Luca de la Torre, Yepes Verskov, and head coach Mikey Varas in the post-match game, giving their thoughts, as clearly a police mobilization is now happening. Like, this is what we can do. I love that we can do this. So unfortunately, that hopefully gets taken care of, and nobody suffers any sort of unnecessary anything. But we're here to talk about San Diego FC and MLS as it is coming in. San Diego Snapdragons fell asleep in the game. Not too sure. But we're going to go ahead and switch it over. Here's head coach Mikey Varas.
I just want to start by saying I understand that there was an incident in the stands after the game, and I just want to state clearly, as we did earlier in the season, our club values are really clear. There's no place for violence in this sport. This is the beautiful game. It's supposed to bring joy. Of course, there's passion, but we're gathering all the information. I don't have enough information to give you guys anything, so I would like to focus on the game from the questions perspective. La violencia no puede tener espacio en nuestro juego. Este es el juego hermoso que debería traer alegría a la gente, y sé que había un incidente. Estamos tratando de agarrar toda la información y estamos haciendo todo lo posible, pero no tengo la información y quiero enfocar en el partido en este momento.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to start with you.
Tony Sanchez, San Diego Football. Mikey, in this hard-fought battle, your team had a couple of looks where they were pressed and they were given opportunities to go and take it in the first half. However, they fought till the end. What does it tell you from a team that seemed like to have an emotional victory by a Chucky sprint in the 84th minute, but then ultimately getting that goal?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, everybody should take note of this moment in time. This is a big moment for the club. These are moments that clubs are built on. These are the moments nobody will forget that inspire an entire region and make the club real. Guys got the goal in the 95th minute. It's an amazing goal, Anders to Irving. But like you said, my favorite play of the game is Irving chasing down Peck. on a yellow card, 70 yards, making a sliding tackle. These are moments that clubs are built on. And these are legacies for me in terms of how Irving shows who he is on the field.
Mikey, obviously, all coaches want their teams to play all 95 minutes, but what does it take mentally to stay focused so that when they make a mistake like that, we're ready to pounce on it and say, just sort of mentally conceding the fact that you might wrong?
I can't speak for all coaches. I'm a young coach. I'm learning every single day. But one thing that we talk about a lot here, we have convictions for, is being relentless. So when things are not going your way, how do you turn it around? How do you impact the flow? When things are going your way, how do you keep it going? And I understand that Garces makes a mistake, but it's not on him. It's also a combination of how we went after the game. We went after the game for 95 minutes. And the fact that we still have all three of our two wingers and our number 9 that high, chasing the game at the end of the game, where easily those guys could go back and just say, let's take the 1 point. We also create our destiny by pushing the game. And I'm really proud of the guys for that.
Any other English questions?
As good as Chucky is at scoring goals, he seems more like a gritty, blue-collar kind of player. What do you see in that area?
Well, first of all, he has undeniable talent, and that's why he's in the national team. We're really happy that he's back in that picture. That makes us really proud because 1v1, chance creation, he has it all. But what we talk about is what's going to make us special as a team is being an and team. Having Irving is a talented player, creative, and he's willing to do that work for the team. And I think that play in this game is an embodiment of who we want to be as a club.
Coach, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Luca, that was his first goal at home from his hometown. Just talk to me about the crazy week he's had of being called up and then finishing the weekend off with a goal.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's had an incredible week, right? So he got married, he had his birthday, he got called back in the national team, and then Ima Boateng told him before the game, now you got to have a big game for us at home against the champions. And this guy delivered, and I'm so happy for him because we've been challenging him. His quality is so clear in terms of getting out of tricky build-up situations, but we've been challenging him that as a number 10. You got to produce. You got to have assists. You got to have goals. You go down a goal against the run of play, and it can feel deflating. But to have that response immediately after and a big goal, I think it cannot be understated how important it was.
Coach, you guys now have 8 goals in the last 15 minutes of the first half, another 8 goals in the final 15 minutes of the second half. What is it that goes into scoring late going into halves at the end of the games? Is it better effort, figuring out what the other team's doing? What's the secret to that?
It all starts with who you are in your DNA. And when we talk about who we are, we say we go after the game to score goals and impact the flow. So every decision and every action you make has to be based on that. So I think the guys being brave, continuing to play forward, get numbers forward. And then I think from our substitution pattern, putting in more and more attacking-minded players as the game goes on and being brave with ourselves as well.
Now we'll take some in Spanish. We'll start.
And head coach Mikey Varas, described just how much of a battle this game actually was. In the first half, you can definitely tell that Los Angeles was going to go ahead and try to take it to San Diego FC out the gate, and it was even, I believe, in the 6th minute or very, very early on. I'll pull up my notes here where there's a mistake by Chris McVeigh in the middle of the field where he gives the ball, and behind the halfway line. A shot that goes very, very close to, I believe in the third minute, Nelson is the one that takes a shot from the halfway line after a sloppy pass by McVeigh. But from there, Galaxy just kind of had different sorts of looks. They were being very physical. San Diego was giving up fouls, set piece early on for Galaxy, led on for that spirited attack from the champions, and really made San Diego uncomfortable at the beginning, asking some questions. But then slowly, as we've seen, San Diego FC starts to regain that possession, tries to regain that identity. And throughout the match, it seems like they stuck to that identity, they stuck to that position, but it was just at a higher tempo. There was definitely a rivalry sense that you can feel coming out from the pitch up into the press box. You can definitely feel that there was that that hard-fought energy that it was going to go through the whole 90. And slowly but surely, Bombino also getting involved once again. There in the 8th, 9th minute, have floated a pass all the way over, trying to look for Luca. Got a ball to De La Torre, who then floated a ball over onto the right side, almost getting at the end of that one. One of the elements that LA Galaxy was suffering at the first match, the first ever game up in Dignity Hill Sports Park, was the absence of Paintsill. Paintsill is a dynamic player on the right-hand side, and you could really tell that it was giving some issues and some different looks over on the right-hand side. And McVeigh, with his presence, also helped out Kumado when he was pressing a little bit too high up. You can see Chris McVeigh really stepping up onto a right-back role almost, and closing in on that space and that speed that Paintsill was able to ask for. Towards the 15-minute mark, there was 30 shots by LA, and San Diego still had not a single one. But again, San Diego kept pressing on. And then that's when they started to really start to play their identity, keep the ball, start being strategic with different runs, different moves. And the physicality was always there with this game. Chucky Lozano getting himself a yellow card early on, the 30th minute, against Marco Royce. It almost seemed like a retroactive yellow card because of the time it took to get that card over to Chucky. There seemed to be a pedestrian foul. And then a couple of passes after, I was listening to Darren Smith and Adrian Garcia Marquez on their broadcast. And I was there with Darren Smith on his point of it's a head scratcher there on the replay. It does seem like Chucky starts barking a little bit to the referee, which is why that yellow card seems to have been pulled. A yellow card for dissent, not necessarily the foul. But as it progressed, San Diego FC kept giving different looks and starting to up the tempo. And that style of Right to Dream, I'm just going to call it San Diego FC. From here on, I'm just going to call it the San Diego FC style. We call it the Right to Dream style, but I think it's starting to become unique enough to where we can say the San Diego FC style. 33rd minute, things start going for San Diego FC. It was a great pass, but nobody's at the end of it. And at the cross, Maiton is able to pinball it back, and then Godoy almost gets at the end of it as well. But, they kept knocking on that door. Once you start to see San Diego FC really take those chances and open up spaces in the final third, they just lay it on. And that's where it makes San Diego FC very different, is that they're able to have a chance here and there, but with those chances, it's almost like an earthquake. There's secondary, a third shockwave, a fourth shockwave, a fourth chance in a very short amount of time. Keeping on through the 34th and the 35th, right down the middle is a cross, and Luca, so close. He just needs to work on getting that shot off a little faster. I actually asked him in the post-match press conference about that moment. He had 2 shots in the first half where he could have had a shot or a look on goal very close, but he seemed to wait a little bit, just kind of did a business decision. There was a sliding tackle coming his way on the first one. On the second one, it just wasn't fino. It wasn't the best finish for him. But then after that, LA is the first one to score in the 40th minute with Fagundes, who was honestly given way too much time. It seemed like San Diego FC was mostly concerned with making sure they closed all spaces and all windows. But, at that point, Fagundes decides, I'm just going to look up. Oh, there's a lane for me to go ahead and try to curl it. And that's exactly what he went ahead and did. LA Galaxy won, and then SDFC immediately respond. Luca La Torre had made that adjustment. He goes in between 3 and then they slots the ball through. A fantastic goal for Luca La Torre as well. And that looked like it. That was it. Like that was going to be the match that we were going to have for the rest of the game. Potentially a 1-1, just a scrappy, different kind of play. MLS question, what's the yellow card accumulation rule as far as 5 yellows? That's typically what it should be. 5 in a season gets you that red card. You're suspended for a game after. got to meet Mighton, and at 18 threads, he seemed ready for this game. Yeah, saw that post. Actually, SDFC reposted that. Love the minute by minute quick recap. Watching the game now, and you're spot on. Oh, thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. You can find this. This is San Diego Punto Football's post match coverage here live from Snapdragon Stadium. We're still here as they are preparing for a quick turnaround, 24-hour turnaround. San Diego Wave do play here against Jaden Shaw, their former starlet. NC Courage will come in against the second place San Diego Wave. The team was struggling in the second half, trying to play through the compact midfield. And that's something that LA Galaxy did very well, is really just tighten up the spaces and we're opening and closing and really not letting San Diego FC stick to a style and stick to, okay, we're going to go ahead and try to tiki-taka this all the way and walk it into the goal. We are going to have to go ahead and be dynamic, have to have some counterattacking chances, kind of have to press up in the final third, but that also leaves you vulnerable in the back. And LA Galaxy has the talent to go ahead and really hurt you at the end there. Let's see. Let's hear a little bit from. Let's hear from Luca de la Torre, who scores the first goal. His first goal here at home, I believe. And Luca de la Torre having himself a great week. Head coach Mikey Varas saying that he probably had the best week of his life. Getting the call up for the national team. They got married. It was his birthday, and there was a moment during the week that head coach Mikey Varas shares and lets everybody know that Emma Boateng came over to Luca La Torre and said, "Hey, you've had a great week, but I think it's time to cap it off with a goal." And he definitely stepped up here at the end. Here's a local native, San Diego FC's own, San Diego's own, Luca de la Torre, post-match. Luca, congratulations. In the first half, you had two looks where it seemed like you almost had a shot off right in front of goal, but then you kept working for that third one eventually going in. Can you take me through that? And what does it feel as a San Diego native to beat LA?
Thanks, yeah. It's something I work on a lot over the last few seasons to arrive a lot in front of the goal. I know if I arrive 3 or 4 times, then sometimes the ball comes and sometimes it doesn't. And today it came and I was able to finish, so really happy with that. And obviously the win against LA is really important for us. Now it's 3-0 against LA teams, and we're really happy about that.
And on a personal note, just talk about you score leadership. Let me know if it's your first goal at home. Just walk me through that feeling, knowing all the work you put in, to keep. Yeah, it's a great feeling. Scoring a goal it's one of the best feelings in sports, I think. So obviously to win today, to do it at home, score a goal at home, I'm very happy.
Is this the best week ever?
Yeah, it's been a heavy week for me. I called up to the national team early, then I got married actually, then it was my birthday. Now today, goal and a win. So it's probably all downhill from here, but at the moment, really happy. I have to say my wedding, or my wife will kill me.
Well said.
How important is it to have that constant support from the supporter group throughout the whole match, even the last 95th minute?
Yeah, really important. There's a reason why playing at home is easier than playing away, and especially when you have fans like this that give energy the whole game with the drums and the noise, and they're a big reason why we have such a good record at home.
Luca, you mentioned the national team. Obviously, this is a really important period by year with the World Cup a year away. Where do you think you are with them, and how important is next few weeks for you, your long-term national team career?
Yeah, at the moment I feel good. I feel like I'm playing well. I feel fit, and it's just to take that into the camp and to do my best and show my qualities as a player, and just take one opportunity at a time. There's nothing else to do.
Luca, it looks like that game's going to end in a 1-1 tie. One of your guys clears it out toward midfield. The next thing you know, everyone's celebrating. Can you sort of give us a feel, from your perspective, what happened there and what you took away from that?
Yeah, Anders has really great instincts about anticipating mistakes from defenders. You saw it also against St. Louis. So I give a lot of credit to him just being in the right place at the right time, and then obviously Chucky finishing the action. I think it was well deserved, the win in the end. But obviously these moments are super important. The goals decide the games.
Any other English? We can do some Spanish, if anyone, yep, any other here in the front?
Luca de la Torre, post-match here, San Diego Punto Football, 2 balls on the Mike Terrace. Ghetto Bird still up there, yapping it up. No idea what's happening over at the purple lot and orange lots. Hopefully everybody stays safe, and it's unfortunately still going to be part of this weekend's discussions. Can San Diego FC and Snapdragon Stadium find a collaborative effort in order to make sure that these things just don't happen again? But again, now Luca and after does go and say in Spanish to, just not do the violence thing. Like there's just no space for that. And a little bit later, we can actually go ahead and play during 2 balls and a mic on Monday, episode 278, every Monday, 8 p.m. on YouTube on this very channel, this very platform. We're going to go ahead and have his response, and actually a good point that he makes about Christian Pulisic saying no to the Gold Cup call-up. We're going to hear from Luca La Torre on his thoughts. He actually got asked in Spanish, and he said, look, I'm more comfortable in English. Answered in English. So we'll go ahead and have that for you here on Monday on 2 balls and a mic, 8 p.m. on YouTube. Your thoughts as we continue here after a 2-1 victory. San Diego FC, who, again, fought through this match. It almost seems like each team was looking for an excuse to score a goal in the first half. And LA gave you an excuse because they opened up the game. They came back and responded and said, nope, let's sit down and we're keeping the game here. It could have gone out of hand for San Diego FC, but they leveled themselves, they grounded the game and say, let's keep pressing, and went into halftime all even. Beginning of halftime, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot with the obviously the pageantry, unfortunate, the extracurricular activities that happen in the stands and more than likely out in the parking lot. It just kind of escaped me to ask about Willy Kumado, who in the 53rd minute, Owen Verhoeven comes in, the young player for Willy, who looked like he got an apparent injury to the back of the leg. Don't want to speculate too much, but very, very similar to the way that Marcus and Varson reacted immediately toward that same area after a power shot. And hopefully it's nothing too serious. But with that said, you do have a great player in Verhoeven who is able to step up and a youngster. But then you see what he's able to do and how good he is and how good he's going to be, because later on in the match, there is a fantastic link-up play with Anders Dryers on the right-hand side after Milan Lilovski comes in and throws him over to the right-hand side. Milan coming back and slotting in the 9 role, his typical role. And it was fantastic. And you can definitely see that there's a chemistry built in, but a class and quality with Owen Verhoeven over on the right-hand side. And was still getting help covering Painstill, because Painstill is a fantastic player. McVeigh was almost in a big brother type of sense. He was coming back and behind and making sure that his teammate was taken care of. And again, if you have any update on what's going on outside, I'd love an update just to make sure that everything's fine. All right. And then again, Milan Lilovski comes back in. Godoy, after a couple of chances, has another shot that gets slightly deflected and skids off to the right of the post. There is a couple of defensive transitions where SDFC was looking sloppy, and that's where the game really got sloppy, because both teams didn't want to lose the game. LA almost put themselves in the mentality of, okay, let's hunker down, let's get this tie. But you can clearly see that Mikey Varas was pressing and wanting to win the game, and you can see that with the substitutions. You throw in Milan Lilovski, You go ahead and throw in Oni Varakari. But Godoy, right before, actually has a great looking para foto for the picture. Opportunity with a bicycle, not a bicycle, a tijerita, side-footed effort, side-footed volley in midair, almost lands. He's going to score a golazo one of these days. He's going to score one of the best goals of the season. One of these days, Godoy is for sure. And then everybody's favorite moments that I can definitely say is because this tells you exactly where the mentality of Chucky Lozano is for this team and how much he is going to not only talk the talk, he's worth this much. I'm really hoping it's on the highlights, but it is not. I cannot believe they didn't put it. Did they put it? They should have put it. Doesn't seem like it. In the 84th minute, 85th minute, Irving and Chucky Lozano has a ball because San Diego FC is pressing up high. They practically have no midfield because they're so high up, and they're trying to break down the defense of LA Galaxy, who's honestly, they're tired. They want to clock out. That's it. They want a long Memorial Day. They just say, hey, let's get out of here with the tie 1-1, and let's this derby continue for playoffs for next year, wherever it may be. But then in the 84th, 85th minute, a ball that goes towards Chucky Lozano on LA Galaxy's box. He moves to the right, ball goes to the left. He's already in a losing position. Chucky Lozano pivots, puts his head down, and starts the sprint of his lifetime at his age and tracks down Gabriel Peck. Slide tackle, absolutely clean slide tackle after already being on a yellow, having argued with the referee the entire match, having everything to lose in that situation, knowing that if you don't get that ball and you touch any part of Gabriel Peck, you're going to get maybe a direct red card, or at that point, just accumulation, you're out for the game. Your team loses you for this game, the rest of this game. It's a momentum shifter. LA Galaxy can go ahead and try to win this game after being 1-1. Chucky Lozano makes a sprint of his lifetime, gets the ball clean. Then Royce comes in, gets a little dirty, foul, end of the play. Stadium goes wild. Chucky gets pumped. Everybody gets pumped. And at that point, that was the emotional victory for San Diego FC at that moment. This game could have ended 1-1, and everybody would have remembered this game for that sprint at the end. This entire stadium celebrated that as if it was a goal, and Chucky Lozano knows that. He then took that same energy, go over to the other side. Garces, they're trying to convert this LA Galaxy player into a center back. I was talking to some colleagues that cover LA Galaxy that are saying, you know what, he's a good player, he's a defender, but you can tell with that play that ends up into the winning goal that he's not a natural center back. The first option that a center back has to have is a safe option every single time, not to be too fancy and to have everything measured and under control. That was everything but. San Diego FC pounces on it. Who else? Chucky Lozano takes that momentum, takes San Diego FC into the 2-1 Snapdragon Stadium, and it's announced 30,000 plus. Go absolutely buck wild. San Diego FC wins 2-1 and defeats LA Galaxy for the second time, defeats the reigning defending champions of MLS for a second time, is now 3-0 against Los Angeles-based team. 2 here at home, 1 away. LAFC has 1 more at their stadium, and we'll see what happens at that point. But this is a fantastic match, and this is one of those games where if you're marketing for San Diego FC, if you are on any side of San Diego FC that needs to package something and bottle up an emotion and try to sprinkle it throughout the season to say, hey, look, this is what we're going to go ahead and do. Remember those things we've been talking to you about? Remember those principles and pillars that we've been talking to you about? Let's forget about how, we feel about the crest and the actual imagery. When it comes to the game, everything that San Diego FC said they would be doing, they're doing. And that's incredibly impressive, not just to walk the walk, but to execute. You can try to do it, but they're executing. They're making it happen. And all praise there to head coach Mikey Varas, who definitely wanted this win and got the win, and his team fought until the very end. This meant that it was a great moment. And you heard Mikey Varas at the top of the press conference. This is what makes clubs special. These games are what makes this sport so beautiful. They're able to really come in and just captivate you for an instant. Everybody screamed in that moment. The joy at Snapdragon Stadium could be felt. Beat LA chants after. Buyaka Buyaka 619. Mr. Rey Mysterio is in here delivering the flow. This was a celebration of San Diego soccer here at Snapdragon Stadium against LA Galaxy, and what a win it was. So it's a fantastic showing. We'll get to some of your comments here. We're going to track back a little bit. So we'll start here. Galaxy fans were terrible in the post game. Was sitting next to the supporter section. Things got out of hand. My Captain America for Luca de la Torre. I love to hear that from Emma Boateng. And Right to Dream is a vibe. Again, Right to Dream is definitely a vibe, but it's starting to become San Diego's vibe and San Diego's flow. Yeah, still there. 100%. Like the stream, follow, support. 100%. Let everybody know this is where it's at. San Diego FC post match here from the Two Balls and a Mike Terrace. Follow us on everything. San Diego.football, San Diego.football. That is our website. That is where you can find everything. Let's close it out here with some sound from the main man, who I do believe was the man of the match once again, because he showed up with a mask post-match with his son. I took his son's seat, unfortunately. And let me tell you, Chucky Lozano's son comes in wearing a SDFC shirt. Now, I'm not sure who's on the other side of the glass because there's a fan section right there, and the players sometimes come in and come through. But you can tell he was looking at somebody and just like literally doing this, kissing the crest, just over to a couple of people. I don't know. It was great. It was hilarious. But with that, let's get to man of the match, Chucky Lozano, and his post-match game thoughts.
We can start with the English questions right here in the front.
Tony Sanchez, San Diego Football. Irving, you take this game with a yellow card. It was hard fought, both sides very physical, and then you do a sprint at the end of the game to get that ball, recuperate, and then you get the goal. What does this game mean for you and get that victory against LA?
Pues yo creo que muy contento de lo que se hizo en la cancha. Creo que fue trabajo de conjunto de los jugadores, de todo el cuerpo técnico, y bueno, creo que pudimos hacer lo que nos tocó, y bueno, la verdad que como dije en la conferencia antes del partido, estos partidos se juegan diferente, ¿no? Entonces, la verdad que da un plus. Pues bueno, yo creo que traté de hacer mi trabajo, ayudar a mi equipo, y bueno, gracias a Dios me dio la recompensa al último minuto.
Yeah, I'm happy. That was what was done on the field. It was a great team effort, the whole staff as well. And I think we were able to do what we wanted to do and what we were assigned to do. And like I said, during the week, during the media availability, these games are different and you just have to give it a little bit extra. And I think I did my job and helped the team, and I was able to score in the end.
When the ball goes up in the air, a mistake by LA, number 25, over toward your teammate, what were you thinking at that moment for the counterattack?
Cuando el balón se fue en el aire, en el contragolpe, ¿qué es lo que estabas pensando en ese momento cuando venía la pelota?
Pues yo creo que lo primero que estaba pensando era pegarle bien al balón, tratar de conectarla bien de cabeza, y bueno, la verdad que tuve un poco de calma, no me quise apresurar, y bueno, traté de solamente conectar bien la cabeza con el balón, y bueno, gracias a Dios pude anotar el gol.
The first thing I thought was, just try to connect with the ball and then connect it with my head, and I was calm and didn't rush it, and just try to connect it, and it happened. We'll hear in English.
Oh, in English?
No, en
In
Spanish.
español?
Bueno,
Is there any other English before we start translating? No? All right, we can go in Spanish. Oh, Derek, back there.
Coach said that his favorite play of yours is probably when you chased down Peck, even more so than the goal. Can you tell us about the effort you put into that play and why that sprint was so important to you to get that stop?
No, pues yo creo que lo principal es que ayudar al equipo y bueno, tratar de que no nos anotaran gol. Yo vi esa jugada, me pasa el balón muy cerca de mi pie y bueno, Peck agarró el balón y se fue directo a la portería y bueno, traté de seguirlo, traté de alcanzarlo y bueno, gracias a Dios lo conseguimos, ¿no? Porque era un contragolpe muy peligroso.
The main thing was to help the team however I could and defend if I needed to. So they didn't score on us. And when I saw that play happening, it was really close to me. And, Peck took the ball and took off and I was able to catch up to him. And that's kind of how that went. Another English? No, all right, we're going to go in Spanish. We'll start here.
Irving, tengo dos preguntas. Una, la agresividad que jugó Los Ángeles contra ti. Ahorita Mikey estaba diciendo que hubo llamadas que él pensó que deberían haber sido llamadas y luego, ¿puedes hablarte de la agresividad y no caer en el juego de LA Galaxy de tú tener una tarjeta amarilla y obvio no dejar que te pongan la segunda tarjeta?
And you can get the rest of that post-match press conference on sandiego.futbol. But yeah, absolutely great stuff here from San Diego FC. King Ghidorah reference here in the chat. We are waiting the Cali Cup, says Cisco. Absolutely on pace for that. Haven't faced San Jose, the one California team that hasn't been faced, and I honestly think that may be San Diego FC's toughest test for a California team. Not because necessarily they're that good, it's just there's something about San Jose. It's just the scrappy nature of the area, and that's literally all I have to base it on. But obviously, with their current record and where they stand, Chucky and the rest of the team ran their asses off today, 100%. Maybe actually the Kings of Cali. But yeah, I mean, 100% here, 2-1. San Diego FC beat LA Galaxy once again. San Diego defeating a Los Angeles team. So that is going to be it for me here at Snapdragon Stadium. Thank you for joining us. We will have the full breakdown of this match and everything that comes with it and the repercussions, obviously, unfortunately, that's happening outside. What are we calling this derby? I mean, that's for you guys. That's for you guys to decide on your end. But clearly there's a rivalry here. San Diego FC is on pace to maintain that second spot and be at top of the league. But for right now, San Diego FC defeats LA Galaxy 2-1 every Monday at 8 p.m. 2 balls and a mic. We will continue this episode 276. We will talk everything about this match on the field. Unfortunately, off the field, tomorrow's match with San Diego Wave versus NC Courage here at Snapdragon Stadium as well. San Diego's #1 soccer outlet, San Diego Futbol. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon after a San Diego FC game. Would it be a Clásico? I asked Captain Yepes Farskov, did this feel like a derby? Get your answer from him. 8 p.m. San Diego Futbol is the name of the game. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Go ahead and share. Tell the people. This is for you guys. This is for everybody who's here. This is for all of us here in San Diego who love the sport. We cover it because we love it. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cobra. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Nick. Everybody who's joined us. Cisco, 619 Soccer. Everybody, Puma, who make this happen and really make this worthwhile. So thank you, guys. Check us out on Monday and everything that we have for tomorrow. Yeah, what a teaser. Love that. Have a good one.